University of Abuja chapter, Dr. Kasim Umar. He will be talking to us about the strike extension by ASUU. Good morning, and thank you for joining us on Daybreak.
Good morning.
Well, the extension of the industrial action by ASUU is coming to many Nigerians with a bit of concern, really, because already 3 months has gone, and students are already out on the streets in some parts of the country protesting. And we also know that there have been, committees after committees to see to the resolution of these strike, but it doesn't look like we are reaching an amicable, solution at the moment. So, what exactly is the problem with implementing some of the things that have been agreed upon between the ASUU and federal government back in 2022? Let's begin from there. 2020 rather, not 2022.
Yes, of course, we read on the pages of newspaper of all those meetings, purported meetings, the federal government or the Minister of Labor and Productivity keep on saying that since the committee was set up, since we are back on the rolling strike of 14th of March 2022, nothing tangible has been done, no commitment from the government, and the next met and noted all this, and decided to give the government an ample opportunity of another 12 weeks to implement all the agreements signed by ASUU and the federal government back to our MOA of 2020.
Okay.
Okay, Dr. Umar, as it is already this year alone, ASUU has been on strike for 3 months, and ASUU is calling for another 3 months. It is noted that there are some agreements between ASUU and the federal government, which, according to ASUU, the federal government has not kept its part of the bargain. But a lot of people are wondering, is there any other way ASUU can approach this situation apart from the strike?
Look, the only thing Nigerian government understands is strike. And that is the only language they understand.
And Dr. Umar, are you sure about that? Because you have been out, ASUU has been out for 3 months, and government doesn't seem to understand.
Let me learn. I am telling you that the only language the government understands is strike. And we're telling you that go back to the issue of what the struggle of our union is, right from, in fact, 80 today. How many agreements have been signed with the same government that will sit down with their head correct and endorse an agreement that I am going to do this, I will do this, with time lag? Must we embark on strike before they do anything? We are telling you that we are on strike. We embarked on strike for 1 month, far back to 9th February. They never did anything. We roll over the strike for 8 weeks. They never did anything. Now, is it not right for the stakeholders in Nigeria to put pressure on the government to do the needful?
Okay, Dr. Umar, one of the issues is the renegotiation of the agreement that was reached under the Yaradua administration. Reports say that the government has not come to the table with anything on that. Please, can you speak more on that?
It is not Yaradua's government. This present government has entered the negotiation in agreement with our union twice. We said 2020, we said 2021, memorandum of action signed by the union and the federal government. But they never implemented anything. And they keep on telling lies, telling Nigerians. Like, for instance, we embark on strike they agreed that in every quarter, 200 billion naira will be injected for revitalization fund. They never did. They asked us to bring an alternative to IPPIS, which is not peculiar to the system. We developed UTAS. They subjected the UTAS to user test. We scored 99.7%. They have not deployed it. The same government again agreed that they will meet with the state governors on the proliferation of universities in Nigeria, including the federal government, that the ones we had was not taking care of it. Don't bring up another new one. They've not done anything. Promotion arrears of withheld salaries of our members, all have not been done. They agree with a timeline. It has not been done.
Okay.
And no third party deduction has also been done. And as it is today, we're telling you for the past 2 months now, this is the third month, no individual, no lecturer in federal universities have been paid their salary because of embarking on a legitimate struggle, forcing government to do what is expected. What they sat down and signed, it has not been done.
Okay. Last year, earlier this year, sometimes in March 2022, the Minister of Labour and Employment, Chris Ngige, said that a total of about 92 billion naira was paid to all federal government-owned universities for the earned allowances and the revitalization fund. He said 40 billion naira, this is the breakdown now. He said 40 billion naira was paid for earned allowance, that's in 2021, and that 30 billion naira was also budgeted and paid for the revitalization of federal universities in 2021, and then also 22.127 billion naira was also paid in December 2021. So what would you say to that?
You see, we don't want also to join issue with the Minister of Labour and Productivity, because to us, he will wake up and just say whatever comes to his head. Let me be honest with you. The money, the EAA they are owing, the end academic allowances they are owing public federal university is more than 1.5 trillion. And they agree that on the basis of quarterly on day, they will be paying so amount. So what they pay is just a fraction of that amount of money. Why not him come to the town and inform Nigeria that this is the total sum of money they are owing on? Because the money they are owing on, they refuse to pay the backlog. They went back and said, okay, this is a fraction of just a semester work. Earned allowance is amount of money that has been accumulated by the government and by the other government too. And they agree and sat down that, okay, let us put it into payment of quarterly basis. And they've just paid fraction of 1.5 trillion that they are owing. So why are you not talking of the one you have not paid? Why are you talking of the one you've given you paid?
So it means that there is something that is being done, isn't it? I mean, for government, for every spending of government, it has to pass through budgetary allocations, isn't it? And that takes a bit of time, isn't it?
Ask yourself. They said in budget, let me tell you, they said in budget of 2020 is going to be included. Ask them, please. Is that amount of money in the budget? The answer is no. 2021 budget, is it part of it? The answer is no. And at any point in time, supplementary budget can be made. We are not done now. You can't tell us because you don't put A, B, C, D in the budget, then that does not mean you will not be able to solve the problem. No. But you can't sit down with an intellectual, say from so month to so month, we are going to do this. You endorse, I endorse. Then at the end of the day, you never did anything again. Series of letters has been written, series of communication to the various offices of government has been done. 6 months, 7 months, 8 months,
Okay.
1 year.
Okay,
Nothing has been done.
Okay, Dr. Umar, not too long ago, the government said that they may not be able to meet the obligation to ASUU because of the current economic situation. So is ASUU open to a renegotiation of this renegotiated agreement?
Look, we are saying how many renegotiations you are going to do. The same federal government last 2020 set up Muslim federal government negotiation team. We sat with us with over 7-8 months and renegotiated what they said renegotiation of 2009 agreed. Why are they not working with the document to get us a draft so that we will be able to sit down and sign? Why not? We're saying that they've sat down and while setting up another renegotiation team again. What is wrong with that documented renegotiation done by Mrs. Jubril submitted to the Minister of Education?
No,
What is wrong with
Dr.
it?
Omar,
Have they told Nigerians?
Dr. Omar, my
What have
question
they done
is,
about it?
Dr. Omar, my question is, if the government is insisting that they do not have the financial muscle to meet their obligation to ASUU at this point, is ASUU open to any kind of midpoint?
Let me ask this question. The government have the government did not have or have financial muscle to set aside 4.3 trillion for soil subsidy, which does not exist, which the same government told us does not exist. This government does not have financial muscle where the privatization of PHN, which they've sold to their friends and this thing, and they came up and still financing the same company they sold out from government budget. And the same government does not have financial muscle.
But Dr. Umar,
so it's about priority. If they take education serious in this country, they will not be doing what they are doing.
Dr. Umar, I'm going to go back to my first question. As it is at the moment, ASUU appears to be losing sympathy with Nigerians because of the impact this strike is having on the children and education generally in the country.
Let me get you well. I don't get you well.
I'm going back to my first question, which is there an option to strike? Because as it is at the moment, ASUU appears to be losing sympathy with Nigerians because of the impact these strikes are having on the education and, the future of the country.
Please, it seems to me you are taking sides.
No, I'm just saying, you know, like they say, Dr. Umar, when two elephants, like they say, Dr. Umar, when two elephants fight, it's the grass that suffers. I'm saying, what is the way out?
I don't know the research you've conducted by getting into that conclusion that the government, that the Nigerian public are losing sight. Whoever scared to read the historical basis of how the struggle started and where we are in this country will not be saying what you are saying. Because in the first place, have NLC not intervened in this situation? Have the protests going around in the entire country? Look, if you read what you know about this union and the plight of how the government is insincere to the educational sector in this country, I don't think you'll be saying what you are saying. And let me be honest with you. This strike, you are only looking at the one side. Is strike not affecting the lecturers? There are colleagues who are pursuing their degree program also in the university. Are they not out of this system? The same thing, are you saying that my own children is not in the university?
Okay.
All right, Prof. Let me get your own, thoughts. Maybe you should take us through the kind of engagement that has been between ASUU and the new committee that was set up by the federal government in March 2022. That's the Professor Nimi Briggs committee that was set up. What kind of engagement has there been between ASUU and that committee? We are hearing speculations that ASUU is not, giving to engaging with that committee. Is it like ASUU has lost confidence in the engagement with the committee or what?
Look, ASUU has never one day refused a call for any committee meeting. But we're telling you that the government is insincere. Look, some time ago, the government set up 3-man committee set up by the federal government, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, sometime February 2022, to resolve the lingering issues between ASUU and federal government. And let me tell you, up to today, you can quote me anywhere. We have not received any invitation for any meeting, apart from just the recent one that the Minister of Education, which we read on paper saying that they are meeting with us on the 16th of this month. So they go about saying all sorts of things. Well, you are quite aware in this country, the federal government, that is the Commander-in-Chief, as Minister of Education, as the Chief of Staff, as Minister of Labor, to go and solve this problem. It's a directive from the Commander-in-Chief, and we are telling you, right from that time today, if not this recent call, that we are to meet with us on the 16th of February, 16th of May 2022, no invitation has been sent to the union. And again, instead of going concentrating, facing the reality of the issue, they keep on moving around, going front, coming backwards, and going as far as stopping our legitimate salary.
Okay, now what about the NIMI BRICS committee? Have you had any meeting with them, and what were the discussions?
You see, that is what I've been telling you, I've been saying. I said the only, in fact, that invitation, which we saw all those things on paper, no communication. You can't talk to us. When we embark on, before we embark on site, there are series of correspondence advanced to the government. Why not invite? Why not write to us and said you are invited for social meeting? But rather, the BRICS committee started moving around from one parastatal to another, saying they are looking for information. Information on what?
All right. Now, now you talk about the the no work, no pay policy that has been invoked sometimes in March this year. Now, do you think that there's a moral justification for ASUU to continue to be paid even when students are back at home and the strike is on?
I want to inform you that you maybe you need to check the Labor Act, so that you see, by the time industrial action is declared, you don't implement anything, you don't punish anybody for no job. That is one. Number two, because of the peculiarity nature of our job, you can't say big because we have not done work, and that work can never be done again. You are quite aware, I am sure you pass through university. If you don't work for first semester, you cannot proceed to second semester. And therefore, the union has a policy of no pay, no work.
Okay.
Dr. Umar, there's this, taking back to the issue of the UTAS.
Yes,
it was.
I think you have to be loud,
Okay.
louder, so that I'll be able
Okay,
to hear you.
Dr. Umar, I'm taking you back to the issue of the UTAS. It was said that it passed integrity test, and after that, it was.
You said?
The issue of the UTAS.
Yeah.
It was said that it passed integrity test, and that, but after some time, the government did not go ahead with the approval for lecturers to be using it. There has been some allegation as to why. Is ASUU aware of any particular reason why that approval was withheld?
As far as we are concerned, we know that the government is playing politics with the lives of Nigerians, and that is the basic part. Because the same government asked us to bring out an alternative. We are challenged. In fact, we are giving 1 year, we developed this system within 6 months. And they subjected this system to various tests, user tests, all these tests conducted by NISA, which we are quite aware that even the other system they've been using, they never subjected it to any test. And we agree because we know what we did. And at the end of the day, they decided to say what they are saying. But as far as we are concerned, You cannot ask us to go and provide another alternative, which is so friendly, home-based, and you come up one day and said, without no cause. The reason for them to say so, Nigerians are waiting, we too were patiently waiting, and whenever they decide to deploy it, we'll be ready to use it.
But Dr. Kasim, why is ASUU particularly emphatic about the use of this UTAS? Why is it so important? I mean, why particular about the UTAS?
We have said this thing severally, that university environment is not like ministry and parastatal. Because you can't subject university environment to, in fact, the university environment is so dynamic that even the labor force you use, you cannot say maybe today, these are the quite number of staff you have to use, these are this. And we keep on saying that this thing they started implementing, it has a problem because it never recognized so many allowances, so in fact, our peculiarity. And I give you an example, third-party deduction. 2, the system is being used as it is today. We are still telling you that over 2,000 lecturers, their salary has been withheld. It's not paid. How? Why? As we are talking to you, we are saying that, let me give you an example from the Vice Chancellor. Before now, they were using Disney. Vice Chancellors is receiving about 1.6 million, equivalent to their counterparts, permanent secretaries and co. And at the end of the day, the introduction of the IPPS today, none of them, in fact, at times, they are paid, some are even paid up to 50, as low as 50,000. But as it is today, no Vice Chancellor will tell you that it's receiving up to 700,000. Because there are so many allowances recognized by our 2009 agreement with the federal government, because our salaries are always negotiated. You are quite aware also that even the minimum wage does not affect us. Why? Because our salaries are always negotiated every 5 years, which the government of Nigeria never did when the 12th, 13th year today.
Okay, now...
They've never done so.
All right.
So this year system never recognizes, and we are telling you that IPPS is the World Bank agenda. And we are not the only person complaining. You've seen the auditor's report in this country, Auditor General's report indicting IPPIS. You see other ministries and parastatals still complaining about the same system. If the government is so sincere, why not have a strong panel of inquiry to investigate what we are saying?
All right. Dr. Kasim, can you tell us now in totality, how much has ASUU received out of the monies that have been agreed upon to be paid to ASUU? That is the earned allowance and the revitalization fund combined together, and all the monies that have been requested. I'm sure over ₦1 trillion. So how much have been received so far?
You see, I can, as chairperson of the University of Abuja, there are certain information which might not be available to me. But as far as we are concerned, if they had that Muslim Jibril document, which our principal officers agree with them to draft a white paper on it for us to endorse that agreement, I think it will be best out there. But now as it is, I do not have the total info with me.
Okay.
Okay, but can you give us an estimate?
No, we don't speak like that. No, we speak with facts. Our union speaks with facts. I cannot just give you any estimate in relation to that.
Okay, but earlier you said that the federal government has not made any payments with respect to that.
Hello.
Hello, I said earlier you said the government has not made any payment as per implementing the agreements that are being had, with respect to that. So how can we really, reconcile this?
I think something needed to be done. The network is not clear here again. Maybe from your own end. If you are hearing me clear, I'm not hearing you.
I can hear you very clearly.
I'm not hearing you.
I'm just saying that about the monies that have been received by ASUU, and the claims by ASUU that the government is lying to Nigerians. How do we reconcile this if we do not know how much have been paid to ASUU?
Bros, which money? I have told you here that we are reading all those things from pages of newspaper. And let me even tell you one thing that you the journalists needed to understand. Please, we want you people to do an independent investigation for most of these things.
You can start by helping us. You can start by telling us, at least give us an estimate.
Wait, money sent to universities is not made for ASUU. If there's any one couple sent to university, we have other unions. We have money that goes to the Vice Chancellor's office for projects. And they will still come up and say, we're giving so amount of money to ASUU. Which money?
I'm talking about ASUU. ASUU is fighting for the cause of the universities, isn't it? So
yes,
if the federal government is releasing any fund, and in the name of earned allowance or revitalization fund... Sorry?
I said, so if ASUU is fighting for the cause of improve and the development of the Nigerian university, any money you budgeted as a budget for all the institutions,
that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that at least ASUU should be able to give us an estimate of this is the amounts that have been released with respect to earned allowances and revitalization fund. An estimate at least will help.
Of course, I told you that the EAA owned by federal government is running to about 1.5 trillion. And even the older lady, your correspondent said it here, that 20 billion was sent. And that 20 billion, they should ask them, how many unions? Because I don't want to join issues that maybe at the end of the year will seem antagonistic to other issues. The EA that was sent to the federal university, you are quite aware that NASU, SANU, NAS, they are part of all this distribution. So, and I'm telling you that I never have the other money which they sent as a whole that was sent to the university.
Okay.
Because
okay,
you know why I'm asking this is because federal government is making its own claim of 92 billion naira. That's what the minister told us.
See,
right? So if he said so, and you as ASUU you are saying that that's not the case, then you should tell us.
I have told you from the beginning. This 92 you're quoting is a fraction of what the government is owing up to 1.7 trillion, including revitalization, which they promise that on revitalization alone, on quarterly basis, they will spend 200 billion. And among the 200 billion, which is purely for revitalization, someone is spending 92. And that among that 92 is saying that 30 billion is for EAA, N allowance, sorry. N allowance is not for only ASUU member. And we are saying that other unions are involved. And we are saying among even the 92, if you have to look at the percentage of 1.7 trillion, which they are owing, is it not insignificant?
Okay, Dr. Umar.
That's why I said let the same people review their record of what is committed to them by Muslim committee they set up. We sat down with the government.
Okay, Dr.
But
Umar.
I don't have that report with me, of course.
Okay,
and
Dr.
that is why
Umar,
I'm saying so. I'm challenging the government to bring out and to publish that report.
Okay, Dr. Umar, if I get you right, what you have confirmed is that government paid a fraction of what they agreed with the union. Now you're going into a meeting on May 15. Is ASUU open to shifting position, or like, if the government comes with some kind of midpoint agreement, or is ASUU going to insist on government fulfilling all the agreement reached before anything can be done?
Government has been shifting position. ASUU has been shifting position, not today, and that is why you have various agreements. 2020. 2021, and we are saying go back and implement it. They set up another committee to work with which I'm referring to, Muslims committee. Let them look at that document and bring out something and sit down with us.
So what you are saying, Dr. Umar, is that ASUU is sticking to its position.
Hello?
What you're saying, Dr. Umar, is that ASUU is sticking to its position even as it goes into the meeting on May 15th?
Look, I have told you that we have never stayed away from talking. Let them work.
Your account is low. Please recharge as soon as possible or dial *5.
Hello, Dr. Umar. Okay, Dr. Umar, thank you very much for talking to us this morning and for sharing your views on the current situation between the ASUU and the federal government. We do hope that this issue is tackled as soon as possible. We'll take a short break now. When we return, the show continues. Please stay.
Well, there you have it, an interesting conversation there with the chairman of the Abuja chapter of ASUU, Kasim Umar, who was talking to us about the recent extension of strike by ASUU. We'll now take a look at another segment on the show, My Daily Hustle, just to have a sense of how and what Nigerians go through from day to day trying to put food on their tables. Take a look.